In the distant future, interstellar mining has become a high-stakes industry, sending crews on months-long voyages to resource-rich planets. The mining vessel Borealis, with its diverse crew in cryosleep, is on one such mission, still 4 years from its destination. Without warning, a devastating asteroid impact jolts the ship from its path. Emergency alarms sound through the corridors as extensive hull breaches send shrapnel through critical systems, triggering cascading failures. In the confusion, Borealis's AI stirs crew member Andy out of his cryopod. Disoriented and still shaking off cryosleep's effects, Andy is greeted by the flashing red lights and a quick video message of his family, preserved for moments just like this. His wife's and son's faces give him the slightest comfort before reality crashes back in. A hull breach warning blares, and the AI, sensing catastrophic failure, initiates survival protocols. Robotic arms descend, encasing Andy in a patched-together survival suit, outfitted with limited oxygen and minimal AI support. With his vision blurred, he watches helplessly as explosions spread through the Borealis, making it clear escape is the only option. The AI triggers an emergency ejection, sending Andy's pod hurtling into the unknown. But not all pods escape unscathed. As the ship disintegrates, several of his crewmates' pods fail to launch, engulfed in fire and metal debris. Andy's pod tumbles into the atmosphere of a barren, alien world, caught in a gravity well that intensifies his descent. Its emergency wings snap off, thrusters overheat and malfunction, and he slams into rocky terrain with bone-rattling force. The crash knocks him unconscious, his last thoughts of his family anchoring him in his dazed state. When he regains consciousness, his AI, misinterpreting his disorientation as a heart attack, nearly deploys an internal defibrillator before he stops it. Andy, struggling to breathe through his suit's damaged seals, assesses his surroundings. Outside the pod's cracked window lies an endless, rugged wasteland under an ominous sky, unlike anything he's seen. Strapped with a basic survival kit but lacking essentials due to his rank, Andy grows desperate. Smashing his way out of the pod, he slices his hand, letting precious oxygen escape before managing a quick patch job. Just then, smoke fills the pod from an engine fire, forcing him to abandon his limited refuge. As he stumbles out, he witnesses the Borealis plummet from the sky, its fiery wreck scattering across the horizon. The impact sends a tremor through the ground, knocking him off balance as a massive shockwave roars past. Amid the chaos, Andy notices a faint light in the distance. Holding on to faint hope, he activates his radio, sending out desperate calls for survivors but receiving only static in return. He trudges towards the glow, his suit's AI alerting him to critical oxygen depletion with every heavy step. When he finally arrives, he finds another escape pod in ruin. He opens it to grab an oxygen tank, but his relief is short-lived. A crewmate's body tumbles out, lifeless and partially mangled, with mysterious scratches marking the pod's exterior. Andy fights off panic, focusing on survival. Wandering further, he encounters Dwayne, a fellow survivor who greets him with grim news. Dwayne has accessed Borealis's logs, which reveal that their company, desperate to save fuel, took a dangerous route through a dense asteroid belt, sacrificing crew safety for profit. This revelation explains why they're stranded, abandoned in the wilderness of an unknown planet. While Dwayne manages to set up a distress signal, neither of them feels confident about a timely rescue. Their grim planning is shattered when a strange, dark figure attacks Dwayne, dragging him into the darkness before Andy can react. Terrified and shaken, Andy stumbles away, scavenging Dwayne's weapon. Alone once more, he recalls his family, clinging to their memory as a source of courage. His AI directs him to the Borealis's main wreck site, where a greater chance of supplies awaits. On his journey, he makes radio contact with Naomi, another survivor trapped in her escape pod. Naomi's voice crackles with a mix of relief and pain as she explains her predicament. She has extra oxygen but is surrounded by unstable terrain. Andy assures her that he'll find her, and as he follows his AI's coordinates, eerie signs appear, holes dot the ground like traps, and shadows flit at the edge of his vision. His AI, outdated and lacking sensors for alien environments, can offer no insight, leaving him in the dark literally and figuratively. As he approaches Naomi's coordinates, Andy is ambushed by alien creatures resembling giant spiders, their exoskeletons coated in dark, rock-like armor. These creatures are hunters, skilled in ambush, and some bear remnants of crew insignia. He narrowly escapes an attack, using his gun to fend them off as he runs toward Naomi's pod. When he arrives, he's met with a terrifying sight. Naomi's pod is surrounded by the creatures, who retreat only after she activates a series of decoy lights. Andy sprints to her aid. And together they manage to fend off the creatures, though their numbers seem endless. Despite their exhaustion, they agree to make their way to the Borealis's main wreckage, hoping its reinforced structure will provide some shelter. Navigating the rocky landscape proves treacherous, with each step alerting the creatures to their presence. Yet they manage to outwit them, using Naomi's quick thinking and Andy's bravery. Upon reaching the Borealis, they find a ship ravaged beyond repair. Inside, the corridors are dim, filled with the remnants of fallen crew members. They make their way to the ship's central command, only to find it overrun by a larger creature likely the apex predator of the planet, lurking in the shadows. Forced into an airlock for safety, Andy and Naomi have a moment to reflect. Andy confides in Naomi, revealing the guilt he harbors for choosing this mission over more time with his family. Naomi's empathy softens his pain, grounding him. She shares her own fears, confessing that she almost gave up before hearing his voice on the radio. As they search for an exit, Andy's suit AI signals that their oxygen levels are critical. Together, they devise a risky plan to draw the giant spider away. Naomi uses a flare to lure it while Andy prepares an escape pod in the cargo bay. When the creature lunges for him, he triggers the pod's ejection sequence, launching it directly into the spider, crushing it under its force. Exhausted but alive, Andy and Naomi emerge from the ship as the first rays of dawn break over the alien horizon. For the first time, they feel a glimmer of hope. Though their path forward remains uncertain, they've survived against all odds. In that moment, Andy realizes that the memory of his family isn't just a source of guilt, but a motivation to continue. Together, they prepare for the challenges ahead, silently pledging to each other and to those they've lost that they will find a way